Hey world, it's Justin, and welcome back to Anywhere the Needle Drops. Happy New Year. It is 2026. We're back. We're a little bit later than we had planned, but we are here. Apologies for that delay. We had a good planned, restful holiday break, taking some time for ourselves, for our people, to rest, to refresh, to refill those meters, and it was great. And we were going to come back 2 weeks ago. We had a great, we still have a great AT&D live session with Justin Wells, but we weren't quite done tweaking the sound on that in time for that. So we thought, you know what, we'll hold off one more round, and we'll come back with this episode and go from there. So, and speaking of that, Justin Wells AT&D live, we are finishing that up now, so that will be coming to your feeds sometime soon. Not an exact release date on that yet, but it is coming your way. That was an exciting, fun time, but more on that when that comes. Today, we have Keynote Sisters, another great Michigan band who joined me on the show to talk about their latest album, Temporary by Design, and also all things about being sisters in a band, being a Michigan artist, and just making music and art. And fun times with Phoebe and Jaclyn in this conversation. There's also a song you're going to hear called Phoenix Tears here shortly. Man, you might... I feel a little subdued. Maybe you can hear that in my voice. We're sitting on some dark times right now, and I can't help but at least comment on all of that. Obviously, everyone is watching the ongoings in Minnesota with this administration, with immigration and customs enforcement, and it's tough. I wish I had an answer for us. The one thing I know, is that we cannot get used to this. We cannot normalize this. I think one of the things that has happened in the decade, near decade since this president has, come into our political lives is so many things that were previously just unheard of, things you would have never expected, now just kind of seem normal. And that's a problem. We cannot accept that. I think of so many times the things that I warned people about in voting for this man and putting him into power, and how I was told I was being extreme, and then just watching one by one as those things actually occurred. And yeah, there are things happening right now that are entirely horrific and unjustified, and we cannot get used to this. Props to the people out there in the streets in Minnesota, standing up, protesting peacefully, as we have seen, against, frankly, thugs, murderous thugs. And I don't know what else to say about it. There's no justification for this. There's no justification for this president and the actions of the administration, the actions of ICE. It is wrong. It is wrong, and we as Americans must step up and push back on it. There's many ways to do that. It's hard to know what to do. I think one thing every single one of us should be doing, whether or not you are comfortable actually getting out there in the streets and protesting or taking any other action, every single one of us has a voice in our government. We vote, and we have the ability to call, to talk to our congressional representatives and tell them what's up. And you have to be doing that right now. You have to be. If you have an opinion, you can't simply just share it online or in conversation with your friends. You need to speak up, because not speaking up is what, again, normalizes this, and this can never be normal. What is happening is wrong. We here at this show fully stand with the protesters in Minnesota. We fully stand against this administration and the actions of ICE, and we're going to keep speaking up against it, and I don't know what else to say beyond that. So, all right, We are here to talk music, though. We're here to talk with Keynote Sisters again. Their currently out album came out just before the end of the year, Temporary by Design. You're going to hear a song from that called Phoenix Tears. We talk a lot about what's coming down the line for Keynote Sisters during this conversation. Upcoming releases, upcoming shows, that sort of a thing. You can keep track of what's happening in their world by following the links in the show notes to their website, to their social media, and check out this song, check out my conversation with Phoebe and Jaclyn, Keynote Sisters, and take care of each other, take care of yourselves, take care of your fellow people, your fellow humans, and keep on fighting the good fight out there, folks. All right, here's to life.
On the edge, frozen still, wanna turn back, you hope I will. I'm looking down, afraid to fly, can only crawl when my wings are tied, and I feel it in my bones, you're not my home. And I can't help but wonder how you can hide away while I am falling apart. My phoenix tears healing my own broken heart. If you can't bother to care, then is it worth the fight? Wanna throw up my hands and let us ignite. Spend my days putting out flames, bite my tongue, sharpen my game. With each new day I rise like the sun, my ruptured hope, your smoking gun, and I'm draining too quickly, you're losing me, and I wait for an answer, but then you hide away while I am falling apart. My phoenix tears healing my own broken heart. If you can't bother to care, then is it worth the fight? Wanna fuel the fire and let us ignite. I'm falling weak, I can't go on. You're killing me without a cause. I feel the embers, they catch the wind. The fire grows and I give in, and I see the synergy surrounding me, and I'm closer than ever. And then I rise from the ashes and spread my wings, my broken heart beating again. Done waiting, waited, I breathe
I'm excited that you guys took the time to chat with me. So thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, let's see. Where do we even start? Keynote Sisters. So, fellow Michigan band. I cover artists from all over the country, sometimes even outside of the country. But my heart is always with Michigan bands and local bands. So when I heard your music, I was like, oh yeah, they got to come on here. And my producer partner Paul, I immediately sent your album to him, and he was like, yep, 2026. So yeah.
That's so sweet. Thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. So, we'll talk about the recent album release, of course, but let's do a little bit of diving back. I don't know if you've ever listened to our show before, but especially if it's your first time on, we like to get some origin stories, some bios, some stuff like that. We like to dig into it. People want to know who you are, so we're gonna do a little bit of that. So, I guess first, just so people at home can differentiate, we've got Phoebe and we've got Jaclyn here. So if you could each just identify yourselves so people can maybe get a little key on your voice.
Yeah, this is Phoebe. Hello.
And this is Jaclyn. Hi, guys.
All right, there we go. Perfect. Okay, so listen, we're gonna go way back because you are sisters. So you've known each other your whole lives. Who is the older of the two?
I am Phoebe.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you had 4 years of existence without Jaclyn, and then you guys have been stuck with each other ever since. So
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So I mean, how it's not an unheard of thing, but how do you go, to partnering up as musicians?
Yeah, we really started doing our own thing when we were little. Our mom was really, she wanted to make sure we were into all sorts of things as kids. So I chose guitar lessons when I was about 5 or 6. And so I kind of did that on my own. And then when Jaclyn got to be about the same age, she chose piano. And so we just did our own thing, doing lessons. And through the years, we joined separate bands. And then it got to a point where I think I was in high school, Jaclyn was in middle school, and our mom was like, you guys like all of the schedules of different bands and driving you to these different rehearsals, like, hey, what if you guys tried playing together? So she was the one that really choreographed that and got us to investigate what that would look like playing together. And yeah, she was right. She was really onto something. Our lives got so much easier. Oh my gosh. Like, I don't know. I think anybody who's in a band with people that they haven't known their whole lives can attest that it's hard learning, people's ways of communication, people's different musical styles, and then even just navigating rehearsal schedules of where are we going to meet, whose house, when, there's just so much happening. And so, especially that because we were younger and living in the same home, everything was so much easier. Not that I'm sure we didn't have our fair share of fights over things that maybe other people who didn't know each other as well would have had. But yeah, just overall, our lives got way easier doing it together versus like playing with other musicians out in the wilds.
I also, some more context that I want to add, just because I do feel like this is unique to just being sisters. So I'm the younger sister, me, Jaclyn, and looking back at just my life thus far and growing up in music, so much of it was influenced by Phoebe. So Phoebe started guitar when she was 6. When I got to age 7, I really I saw that she was doing music and I was like, okay, well, I also want a fun fact about myself to share in class. It can't be guitar. Phoebe's already doing guitar. Piano? Sure, we'll go with piano. Mom, can I...
Imagine if I had decided to play basketball at age 6 or something.
Oh, thank you so much for not doing that. I don't have an athletic bone in my body. I couldn't have handled no. But yeah, and so that is it to me. It's a very hilarious origin story of how I learned my first instrument. It was literally just so little sister coded. Mm-hmm. And then even in middle school and high school, Phoebe joined band and played flute and then marched mellophone. And so then me following in her footsteps, I like played clarinet and sit down band and then wanted to march mellophone because she made it look so cool. And so I find it interesting that like literally half the instruments I learned to play were very much influenced by like Phoebe's like 16-year-old decisions.
Should have started trolling you and like learned the bagpipes or something.
Oh my God. No, Mom would have hated that. She would have, oh my God.
How are you feeling watching this with, little sister trailing after you, doing all the things you're doing?
It's really feeding my superiority complex.
Good.
It's so funny. A lot of the stuff we didn't even realize until, like this album coming out, we've been doing more of these interviews and talking about our origin story more. And like these stories are coming up and I'm like, wow, yeah, I guess that is true. Like when you think about it, a lot of it, like it just happens and it's just part of your life. And then you don't really have the opportunity to reflect on all of it like you get to do in these interviews. So a lot of it, I feel like we're realizing now, which is so funny.
I know, I forget that not every band is also related to each other because this is all I've really ever known. And so like I can't imagine operating in any other way. Like I have for little pockets of my life, but this has been like the longest term thing and I can't imagine it any other way. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, being in a band we talk about on this show often it's kind of like a marriage or like it is a familial thing, Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's so, I don't know, just all of the work that you put into it and everything, like you really have to get each other in ways that like other coworkers really don't.
In a way that other coworkers don't have to.
Exactly.
But music like demands that, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. So before Mom arranged the two of you coming together, each of you just take a turn and tell me about your journey through music, and whatever projects you were doing or experimentation, creativity you were doing prior to connecting together.
Yeah, I'll start. I was very much like a behind the scenes person. Like I started learning classical guitar. I was trained with like Suzuki guitar style. So very like formal, classical. Our recitals were very like, I don't know, formal, I guess is the word. And then when I got a little bit older and I really wasn't interested in any sort of spotlight or doing anything by myself. I always wanted to be in a group or even behind the scenes. Like I remember doing some like theater things in elementary school, middle school, where like I was a stage manager and just kind of running the behind the scenes things. I had no interest in being like on the stage. And so I know, right?
I'm learning about her.
So for me, we ended up joining kind of creating a band with some other people in our school district just for like a competition or something like that. And like, that was the first time where I was like, fine, like I'll go on stage, but I'm not happy about it. And you're all going to hear about it later. And so even then I feel like it was a little easier for me to like, kind of just like take a step back and be like, oh, but I'm on stage with like 5 other people, so it's totally fine. Nobody sees me. But then when we started playing with just me and Jaclyn, it was like, okay, people see me. No avoiding this. So then, I feel like you kind of had to like reshape the context and be like, okay, yes, I am the performer. I'm no longer like somebody that can just exist in like the background, which was interesting.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I never put that together.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about, she's very different, like a very different person from like, well, obviously since middle school, but still to like conceptualize that is just very low.
Because you wanted to be, Jaclyn, you were looking at like stage acting, if I understand correctly.
Oh yeah. And I still, I do that.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah. So, okay. Now on to my lore. This is also highlighting how different we are in a way that I sometimes forget. So from the age of like 4, I was running around the house singing princess songs. Like I loved to perform. I loved to be seen. And I loved to entertain. And like, so like I got into theater at a really young age. And like would do like summer musicals and like I absolutely fell in love with acting. And then like the music side of my life was kind of growing in parallel. Like they didn't really overlap at all. Oddly enough, even though they're both in the arts, I kept those parts of my life pretty separate. And I was also, so we were in like the like girl group together when we were really little. I was also in a rock band when I was like 10 years old, which feels so crazy to say now when we make like acoustic, like folk music, like folk pop. But yeah, that was a big part of like the origin story. And not just one, two rock bands, even like when I was in high school.
Yeah.
So yeah, just because I wanted more experience, like working with a group. I really love people and I love just working with people. And so many parts of my life are like centered around that. Like most of the things that I do are very collaborative. So like acting and songwriting and like music. I love the like push and pull of being with people. And so I got lost. Where was I?
Just your journey through.
Oh yeah. And so yeah, then we started playing together. And I think I was into it before Phoebe was into it.
Just because our age gap too, like was I like 16 or something?
Yeah.
Or maybe 15.
4 years is kind of a horrific age gap for when you're growing up. Now it's fine because we're like adults, but oh my God, being 12 years old when your older sister is 16, newly cool, in high school, has older friends. Oh my God. Trenches.
Yeah. No, that was terrible for both of us. We hated that age gap. Now it's fine, now that we're in our 20s, but...
Because now we're people now.
We're right. We have way more that we can relate to. Yeah. Oh God. Not good though when we were preteen and teen.
And I was annoying, I'll own that. But who isn't at 12?
It's an annoying age, so you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
so
yeah.
it's funny you mentioned the rock band thing because and then like the contrast to your current music style. Because one of the things I locked onto immediately listening to you guys is you reminded me in so many positive ways about one of my other favorite bands, another great Michigan band who I'm sure you're familiar with, the Crane Wives, who, also started similarly with a very like, folky kind of a background, but I think now refer to themselves as more like a rock band or a pop band, and that's certainly what you're seeing with their live shows. And you guys already have those seeds in there. Like, I mean, was it "Done and Damned"? I think is one of those songs where I'm just like, I'm just feeling that energy. So that does not surprise me in the least. Yeah.
That is really interesting to hear this from like an outside perspective, because I like so don't view like myself or like the music we make that way. Like I view it very like singer-songwritery, but then oddly enough, like we just wrote a song that like I see it being like in the indie rock genre. So it's fluid, and that's the fun of it all.
Yeah. No, definitely familiar with Crane Wives. Really look up to them. I remember seeing like when we were just getting started and they were, growing at the time as well and just playing all these crazy shows. We have yet to meet them in person. That's definitely...
Isn't that crazy?
In 2026. Yeah, I would really love to meet them.
I feel like we might have seen each other in passing. Like we've been at the same venues or festivals, but like never like crossover.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I think that's a double bill that I'm requesting now. I want that double bill. So.
All right.
No, because someone write that down.
Yes.
Listen, I'll email Kate and Emily right now. So.
Yes. So you're in. No, but also about like us viewing each other, or us viewing ourselves as like very low key singer-songwritery. I mean, it's because we are a duo and we're both, multi-instrumentalists. We haven't ever really played live with a band, which I feel like it's hard to be like an acoustic rock type of thing. Like it's hard to hear those things when it's just the two of you. So it's been very easy to say, okay, yes, we are like folk pop acoustic duo. And then when we got into the studio, we had so many options. We're like, oh, we can add, a full drum set. We can add all of these other instruments that really take the music and the songs we had only been hearing acoustically into like another realm. So I think, that is really interesting because we do still see it as like, no, it's just like little singer-songwritery songs But no, the fully produced versions are very much not that. Yeah, so that is so interesting.
Well, and I imagine, you know, it's the song itself that's going to take you there. I mean, what's going to be appropriate? There might be a song that needs to be stripped down and very intimate, and there's going to be other songs that need to be that, you know, expansive, you know, energy.
Literally, precisely. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, what, you know, given the type of music that you're playing, growing up or even now, what kind of music were you listening to? Does that influence what you play?
I mean, growing up, it was really like listening to whatever my mom had playing on the car radio when we were going shopping and stuff. So like 105.1 and 100.3. And more, like we listened to a lot of like ABBA and like Sheryl Crow and like all the things my mom was listening to. Which now we have like such an appreciation for all of that music. And it was a lot easier to refer back to groups like ABBA and the Beatles, like groups that had all of those, like the harmonies were at the center of their music, compared to like more of the pop songs that were actually coming out at the time we were starting to do this. Like a lot of it was like, okay, here's the melody, but it was harder to find the harmonies. So especially when we were learning how to harmonize and how are we going to do this back and forth with our vocals, those like more like 60s, 70s, 80s songs and artists were kind of like at the center of us trying to figure that out. And like, how did they do it? Okay, good reference.
Yeah. No, recreating like Beatles songs was actually pretty key in our development, I would say. Yeah. And then what the music you listen to now, I would say it's pretty similar to what we make.
Now, I'm very like indie, folky, like mountainy music.
Yes.
But yeah, and still oldies.
I really have to say that, that is that kind of music that you just described. We have so many great artists in Michigan that make that kind of music. And I think people are still sleeping on it. And like, that's one of the things we keep on trying to do here is be like, how have you not heard of some of these musicians in Michigan? Like what's in the water here? It's great. You know?
Isn't it awesome?
We talk about it all the time. We love the Michigan music scene. Truly. Oh my gosh. Like so much talent is just pouring out of the state and everyone is so, so nice. Like, and I feel like we're constantly meeting new people and like hearing about new artists popping up in Michigan, which is so incredible because you wouldn't really think of like, oh, like what's a state that produces so much music and all these musicians.
I feel like the most people would normally think like Nashville, like the obvious answers.
Yeah.
But I feel so freaking grateful to have grown up in Michigan, specifically in like the Metro Detroit area, and just meet and like be influenced by so many Michigan musicians by like seeing them live.
Yeah.
And I don't take that for granted.
And like summers in Michigan, oh my God, the musicians are out and about. There's so much music happening. I love it.
Yeah, they've all been cooped up for all the cold, dark months. They've got to get out there.
I know.
Exactly. I would say similar to Phoebe, like we listened to the same stuff growing up. It was literally just what was on the radio. And then when I got older and realized that there are other ways to listen to music, like I can I can choose to listen to a full album or I can like listen to a playlist. I know that sounds really simple, but that was a game changer for me. Just because it's not how I grew up. You have very little like autonomy as a child, you know?
Well, yeah, and especially like listening to the radio versus now having like the autonomy to
the
pick
world
songs that you want to listen to.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, truly. Lately I've been actually I've been getting more into hip hop and R&B, which is very unlike the music we make, but I'm realizing it still influences me in really big ways. So for instance, in like hip hop and rap, I like the lyricism is what first drew me in because I love words. It's the same. It's kind of also what feeds me as an actor is a similar vein with music. I love just a really poetic lyric or just like a really clever, smart lyric. I like things that make me think. And hip hop and and rap like scratches that itch for me, which I really love. And then listening to R&B, I learned so much about just the production of things, especially when we were making Temporary by Design. Like suddenly it felt like a very big ask to, you know, figure out what we wanted our sound to be and where those sounds were going to be sourced from.
Right.
And how just very minor adjustments can really like lean a song to a different genre even.
Yeah.
Like that was a huge learning curve. And then I would like be in the car on the way home, like listening to like Kehlani, and it where like just a more maximalist approach to production, which like, I don't know, it just taught me and teaches me a lot.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. But yeah.
Did you have, when you were in the studio, kind of exploring some of these sounds, did you have any resistance to, stepping away from that more intimate sound as you were exploring all the options in production and finding ways into, new possibilities?
That's a great question. What's that?
Can you talk about Run?
Oh, yeah. Jaclyn was just saying Run is the song that comes to mind with that. Yeah, I think the hardest part for us is, we come into the studio with all of these songs that we've been playing live for some of these songs, like 6 years. And that's the only way we've ever heard it. And like for us, like the song gets so ingrained into our brains that way, then it's like, well, I can't imagine it any other way. But we knew we didn't want it to be like a live record. We wanted it to be that produced sound. So yeah, like this one song, Run, we've only performed it, just guitar and 2 vocals, really. And Cajon, yeah. And when we, got our other musician friends in the room and we're like, okay, what are you guys hearing for electric guitar, for percussion, for all of these things? They had such a clear vision of it, like, oh, I think it should, like, this is what comes to mind. And then they would play it for us. And we were like, whoa, that really like took on a life of its own. And for a while we were like, we went back and forth on that song, like recutting tracks several times. Cause we were like, I don't know, something, it's just, no, that's not right. I don't know what it is. I like it, but it's not us. And then we got to a point where we were like, I think this song just like has a personality that we're just not used to seeing like in ourselves. And so we're like, I think we need to like let the song breathe a little bit and like be what the song is meant to be, not what we think the song should be. And so we kind of did like go down that road with it, and then, still kept it true to us. And the end product, I think, was something that we were like surprised by, but also love so much. And I've heard a lot of, really good feedback on it. It was something that when we released it, we were like, what are people going to think? Because it doesn't really sound like our classic sound, I guess.
Like it sounds silly to say, but like it felt like that track had a more potent like personality than the rest of the songs on the album. And we were just a little like hesitant about that.
Yeah. But then like we ended up having so much good feedback, and like we've heard from a lot of people where they're like, that one's our favorite. And we're like, really? That's so funny. Like we were resistant to it, and now here we are. But I think that also speaks to us starting music when we were at such a like vulnerable time in our like age relation. We're preteen, teen. And so at that point, when we're trying to do something as vulnerable as like making music or even just singing live, like we just had this desire to please everybody. So it's like, if you, it's like, okay, who's the audience going to be? What do we think they would like? And then us just conforming to what we thought they would want.
Yeah.
And so I think now, like 10 plus years down the line, when we're making this album, it's still hard for us to be like, okay, no, like we don't have to stay in this box. We don't have to meet anybody else's expectations. Like
it's okay to try new things. Like,
yeah, right. Like we're like, in relation to the lives we have ahead of us, like we're very early on in our music career. So like now actually is the time to experiment and
Play.
Yeah, right. Like,
Yeah.
make it fun. So
Yeah, and I mean, one, I'm never somebody to lament when a favorite artist does something new. I'm excited by that, but also, talking about the internet, and like, the access to music, with the playlists and such, Jaclyn. I mean, we can lament the issues with streaming and the negativity of the internet as well, but I think one of the magical things that it's opened up is that ability for you to find your audience, and so instead of trying to please the audience in front of you, you do your thing, and then like there's an audience for you, and they'll find you, or you'll find them.
Isn't that incredible?
that's been like a huge realization for us lately, and something that, yeah, we do really appreciate about living in this age of social media and the internet and everything. Like, because, yeah, exactly like what you just said, for so long, it really depended on who was going to be seeing us live.
Yes.
And trying to please them, because it's hard to get, your exact niche audience to a live show if you're only booked at a specific bar that has a completely different audience.
Like when you're in like Lewiston, Michigan, like that's very specific.
Yeah.
Like it.
Yeah. And you still, of course, want them to have a fantastic experience. So, but yeah, like something that we've, again, realized as of pretty recently is like, yeah, if we just be who we want to be online, like the algorithm, like the people will find us. And that's been really exciting.
And it's true, because we're watching it slowly happen in real time just on our social media, which is really like heartwarming.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah. I think the other thing too is just the internet gives you access to essentially the entire history of recorded music. So I know a couple of friends of mine, they have a teenage son. I guess he actually turns 18 tomorrow. So, actually, this will come out after this, but happy belated birthday, Hank. But
Happy birthday!
Yeah. So I've watched Hank over the years explore music via what he has access to through the internet. And I mean, the guy does, again, he's 17 as we're recording this, and he does these crooner shows where he's, belting out, the kind of music that like Frank Sinatra and whatnot would do, and killing it. And it's like, when I was a teenager, I wasn't even considering that music as a possibility,
Yeah.
Literally. I feel similarly about the artist Leve, where like her voice sounds very much like it could fit right in the 1940s.
Yeah.
But she like obviously is born here now and like wants to bring classical music and jazz music to like our generation, like Gen Z.
Yeah.
Anyways, but just side tangent, but that reminded me of that. Yeah. That's awesome.
It's true. Yeah, it's true. It's just, I guess, I'm trying to bring an optimistic take, because, things can be cynical when it comes to the internet, but I think there's good things there too, so.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely.
So as you're exploring these new sounds, have you considered, is there ever a possibility of bringing on additional members of the band or collaborators that maybe will add to or shift your sound in any way?
We have been talking about this for years.
Yeah, it's kind of an ongoing conversation, because we would love that. Like I love how the record sounds with all of those extra pieces added in, and I'm like, I want to be able to recreate that for live shows as well.
I know.
So I think for select shows and environments, yes, would definitely be a possibility. I think at our root, we're always, well, maybe not always, but at the moment, I think we're going to stay like as just the two of us, as like as the core, but then have the option of, if the time is right, like bringing on other musicians for specific shows.
Totally.
Because it is so fun getting to play with other musicians. And we've been really locked in as just the two of us. So then anytime we do get to play with another musician, it's like, oh my gosh, like this is incredible. So definitely open to that for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the album. It came out, I believe it was this past November.
Mhm.
Yeah. So "Temporary by Design" is the title. It's a fantastic album. Quickly shot to one of my regular plays over the course of the end of the year. It's again a showcase of great music. So Michigan music. So yeah, let's talk about that album. When did you decide it was time to make an album?
When was it?
But yeah, I have kind of pinpoint.
Yeah, hold on, let's look up. Was it like 2021?
Yeah. Done and done. Oh, done and done. Yeah.
Yeah, I like early, so about this time of the year in 2021. So wow, yeah, 5 years ago.
That's when we wanted to just be better about putting out more music.
Yeah,
It then eventually came into like, wait, what if we did an album?
yeah.
That's big, but like we have never technically done a full album of original work until this point. So it's like, I want to do that, you know?
Yeah, I think that's when it kind of, the concept became a realization for us. But we wrote the song Done and Damned that January of 2021. And it was like that song from its conception just meant so much to us. And I think it really highlighted the difference in who we were as musicians then versus who we were prior to that, like 5 years ago, or because we started so young, right? And so it kind of marked a new era for us musically. So we immediately got in the studio, met our producer who produced this entire album, Dale Gryza, and just had an amazing time in the studio producing that song and released it as a single. And after that came out, we were like, yeah, there's like this, we need more that sounds like this. So yeah, that's when we really started seriously, writing new stuff and just talking about what we want the album to look like, and starting those conversations with Dale because we had such a great time with him for the singles. We're like, yes, you need to be the one to produce this album. And then we didn't get into the studio until a couple years later, maybe 2023. And then really spent like all of 2023 through most of 2025 in the studio. It was difficult for us because we've been long distance bandmates for our entire musical careers. Like we started when I was like kind of middle end of high school, but then I promptly went away to college, and then I came back, and then there was COVID, and then Jaclyn went away to college and then transferred. And so it was just like a lot of moving pieces. And so just getting into the studio was actually very, very difficult.
It was like biannually.
Yeah. I remember every year when we're talking about her coming home for Christmas, it's like, yay, so excited to see you. But also when are you free so we can book studio time?
Yeah.
Or like, okay, you're coming back for the summertime. What date? Okay. Do you think it's unrealistic if we went to the studio the next day? And really just maximized our time together that way, which was for sure hard.
And I'm only realizing how, like, weird it was. Not weird, it was necessary, but, like, unusual that we did that, because I'm like, okay, no, when I look around, most bands I know aren't both full-time students at the same time. Like, it's just that of, like, I still had to get through college. And now I've graduated this past May, which has opened up a whole world of possibility just for music, just simply because I get to see her more.
Yeah.
Like, that is huge for me. Anyways, yeah.
So as you're in this moment of finished college and you're back together now, dare I say it, but is there any, are you looking at dipping out to one of the famed music cities? Are we going to keep you in Michigan for a while? What are the plans there?
Who knows what the future holds? So right now, Jaclyn is living full-time in Chicago, actually, because she is, she's an actor now. So there's more opportunities there in the big city. And And then, yeah, now that we are both adults and have full autonomy over our lives and schedules and whatnot, I'm kind of splitting my time between Chicago and Michigan. And just, yeah, we're getting to experience like being in the same place a lot more than we were even a year ago. So really soaking that in right now and very open to like what the future holds with our music. And I think, yeah, we've loved exploring Chicago. Love exploring all the places. So who knows?
Are you finding different forms of inspiration in Chicago versus what you found in Michigan?
Yes, but mostly in just like in an artistic sense, with a wider lens. Just because here I'm getting to experience like both theater and film, TV, like music, stand-up comedy, improv, a bunch of different things. And all of it informs my work. And so just, yeah, getting to be in a place where I just have so much access
Yeah,
to
it's much
art
more accessible.
is huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and like dance too, like going to like dance shows and taking dance classes, like all of it feeds into each other.
Yeah. What kind of dance are you taking?
I just started dancing again. I haven't like taken a class since I graduated in May, and I missed it so much. Anyways, my hip hop and heels are my favorite. I also love tap dance. Those are like that's like the juicy stuff for me. I love those styles of dance.
Yeah.
It makes me happy.
That's awesome. I took up dancing in the last year and a half. As sort of a coping mechanism for some rough times I had a couple years ago. And there's this local outfit called Dance Society of South Bend they're fantastic classes, not a specific style, more of like a fun like play gathering time where the teacher shows up and has a specific choreo you learn that night within like an hour, and then you perform it immediately. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll see some videos there sometimes. We just did it last night. It's so much fun, and dance is so freeing and so good for the soul. Whether or not you are of performance caliber, it's something I highly recommend to everybody out there.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, I was just talking about this the other day, how like cathartic and like therapeutic it is to literally dance at the club. And I'm like, I need to do that more in this new year because I'm so serious. Like just being in that environment and just like actually letting loose, I think is very, very important. You know?
Definitely. Yeah. What about you, Phoebe? What are you doing when you're not making music?
Right now I'm working on raising my fifth puppy for Leader Dogs for the Blind over in Rochester, Michigan.
Oh.
So I got into that back in 2021. And there's actually a song on the record called the Ohio Song that's kind of a nod to that. Me getting my first puppy and starting that experience. But oh my God, she is like a full-time job right now. She's 3 months and she's a stinker. Yeah.
Like that, yeah.
She's been a little bit of a problem child, but no, I really love getting to raise for them. And because these dogs eventually, I have them for about a year and then I give them back to the organization and they do 4 more months of, more formal training where they're learning how to navigate traffic and what to do at curbs and things like that. And then at the end, if they graduate, they get placed with a client and they go and live with them and work as their eyes for the rest of their working careers. So that has been keeping me super busy. It's really weird, like being now in this post-album time where I feel like everything was go, go, go for so long. And now we have a moment to be like, oh, we have so much more time on our hands now. So, but then also the pressure / urge to then fill the time. Yeah.
It's that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
We love.
Big proponent of rest. Rest is very important too. You got to refill the meter so you can get back in there and do it well. So
exactly.
For sure.
I agree.
Yeah, because this album, if anything, it's not like the end. It's like, oh my gosh, we had so much fun with this and we want to put out much more music at a higher rate than we have in the past, just because of how our schedules have shifted lately, and now we're able to do that, put in the time and effort, and put more out into the world.
Definitely, yeah. Well, so keeping in mind the importance of rest, which I want to emphasize, I'm a recovering, overworker, so I want to emphasize the importance of rest. But the album's out there, it's in the world, people are enjoying it. You're out there promoting it. But what comes next? What does 2026 look like for you? Releases, tour dates, shows. What's coming next?
Yes.
We
start. Yeah.
Yeah. We were actually just talking about that because we did our like personal vision boards and resolutions and everything. And then we were like, we should do a business one. So it's a very much at the forefront of both of our minds right now. I think playing at some new venues, maybe some Chicago venues, branching out of Michigan a little bit, and yeah, getting our music into new spaces that it hasn't been before. I know we'll be at all the Michigan classics, like Nor'easter Music Festival up there, and yeah, doing our Michigan rounds. But I think definitely putting out some new music in 2026 is on our radar.
Because there's a song that I'm really excited about that, like, I wrote when we were
at the very end of our recording.
We were listening to like final mixes.
Yeah, I
think
think
it was too late to add it to the album, even though I think it would have fit great on the album. The timing just didn't line up. And now I'm super, super excited to record it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that one will definitely be our first one on the docket for 2026.
Also music video. Music
Yeah.
videos. Who knows?
Yeah. Being in like the arts, and especially in Chicago where there's so much more access to other creative people. It's been a lot of fun just talking to people and seeing how we can collaborate and everything. And yeah, we have another music video in the works, and yeah, who knows?
Oh,
really
and
excited.
Then this sounds more businessy, but like social media and like kind of finding. This sounds cheesy, but like finding our voice and finding like who we are in a social media presence way, like. Because even though, yes, like we are both Gen Z, we like grew up with social media and technology, we were battling with the same thing as the music we play live, which is for a very long time, we did things to please other people. And only fairly recently are we starting to learn, what do we actually enjoy doing? And like, how do we want to like share ourselves with the world, because the internet, as we said, can be a really huge tool, and we had previously used it in a way that was like, for me, it was like pulling teeth. Like I hated to open Facebook.
We definitely resisted it. I think a lot of our focus went to playing our live shows, and so we would only post on social media to get people to go to a live show, and now just the climate of how people find each other and everything on the internet, we've definitely opened up a lot to being more present on social media, and it has been really cool
and fun.
Yeah.
Like we're having fun with it for the first time, which is huge, because we're like building the life that like we want. Yeah.
So much more of that in 2026.
Yeah.
If you want a great example of building that presence very intentionally, you should check out the artist Abby Thomas, a good friend of mine. She's been on the show several times. And her social media game is solid. She is as talented as a musician as she is, and she's amazing. She is also equally as talented as a business person and the behind the scenes person and all of that. And definitely check her out for some tips on that, because it is important. That's how you reach people, and it's as much an aspect of that as anything else. So
that's awesome.
What is the name one more time?
Oh, it's Abby Thomas. I can shoot you a message with that too.
We'll do that. We'll do that. Perfect. Thanks.
Study up.
Yep,
That's awesome. It's
her info,
so important in this industry. Oh my gosh, to be like the artist, but also the business person. So otherwise, nobody is going to hear your artistry.
Yeah, Especially if you're trying to do it at a level, in a way that's, maybe without labels, without management, without that kind of assistance. I mean, there's so many different methods of doing this, and you can have less people involved, but then that means you're doing that work, so
Right.
Exactly.
yeah. Yep. So you mentioned some recordings, some new songs. Are we talking singles? Is there potential for another album this year, or is that going to be kind of a thing that comes when the time is right?
Comes when the time is right. I do not see a new album coming this year, just because the songs that I'm excited about recording they just give single energy. If that makes sense. And I that's how I want to share them. Like that is the context of which I want to share them. Yeah. But definitely more albums down the road for surezies. But yeah, I want to experience the fullness of like learning everything I need to learn from this process of this particular album. And I feel like that work has just begun.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, I'm looking forward to what you guys do next, because I've loved. I did one of those things when I first, heard. I think it was a single. Maybe it was the Michigan Public interview that I first caught. And as soon as I heard that, I went through and just dug into your entire back catalog and just had a fun ride through it. So I'm excited for what's next. Yeah.
So are we.
Us too.
Thank you.
No, yeah, I feel like this whole process has been, really eye-opening and really exciting for us. So it really, really is marking the beginning for us. Yeah.
Definitely. Well, we're excited for you here. So, again, we're very excited for what you guys have coming. Keep us posted for sure. But sounds like lots of exciting things happening. So, Phoebe and Jaclyn, thanks for hanging out with me. Keynote Sisters.
Thanks so much, Justin.
Thanks so much for having us.
Yep, definitely.
You've been listening to Anywhere the Needle Drops from Red Chuck Productions. Keep up on new episodes of this show, our live events and various creations and other happenings over at redchuckproductions.com or by following us on social media at Red Chuck Productions. Special thanks to Hero Jr. for our theme music. You can check them out over at herojuniormusic.com. That is Hero, Hero, Junior, JR, music.com. A big shout out to Paul Clemson and Theory One Productions for handling sound duties and so